Market conditions majority bullish, seeing S&P futures relatively flat, but still pushing the upper end of this range, moving back into momentum and pushing us back to 14-0 with some compression here, some resilient overall resilience we're seeing in the market right here. We did get that bounce off of this demand block location, tested and then retested it twice. Now we're testing all-time highs again. We'll see if we break out and push to new all-time highs on S&P 500. We did see a little bit of improvement here on the breadth of the market. Number of stocks above the 50-day moving average moving back up to 50. It's really been holding right around that 50 range or playing with that 50% range for the last 2 or 3 months, but a little bit of improvement here, pushing this back to 12 and 2 and moving this back up to 50. We also saw VIX come way back down, but still elevated, still at 1856 this morning. Less than 20, but still above kind of this block right here that we saw, where there's still a little bit of elevated volatility happening, still majority bullish on VIX. Keep an eye on that. S&P 500 closed out yesterday at 14-0 and giving us a new green bar back into momentum. Dow Jones Industrial Average, the DIA, also doing the same thing. Nice looking pattern here as well. Long enough here, pretty tight consolidation now for the last couple of months to where we could get a kind of a springboard of demand pushing through, particularly if we break out and get new all-time highs. And now the Nasdaq 100 also showing a similar pattern. Let's look at Russell. That was a little bit weaker here the last few days, but also showing some strength. So seeing again some resilience. All dips are still being bought into. Just be aware of where we're at in the trend. The weekly time frame of those trends pretty extended. That can last a while though, but you just get a lot more volatility at the upper end of these ranges, at least historically. And there's just been so much uncertainty this year with a tariff and the AI investment and everything that's happening right here. A lot more discussion starting to unfold on whether we're at a market top or whether we're in a bubble, whether we're overbought, all those scenarios. And we certainly are at the upper end of this trend, and it's been now for several years. We'll see. We'll see what the market gives us here. We're seeing oil continue to collapse here, now well below the 618, back into this breakout zone here. Could push all the way back down to potentially some of these lower lows down here. They're around that 60, 61 range. Gold getting a little bit of a pullback this morning, back to 388 on GLD. Just really going parabolic on this most recent rally that we've seen here in gold, but definitely extended, probably too extended, at least without some kind of a retracement. 372 would be your pullback location, and 2-year Treasury, we're seeing that of 346 continuing to be majority bearish here as well. And that next range down, we looked at this the last couple of days here, 333, 329 was that low. We're at 346. 10-year also continuing to show a majority bearish and trending that direction still strongly for the 10-year. These lower rates, we've talked about the lower rates are a double-edged sword, because you want to, the market likes lower rates just because it's less expensive to borrow money, and that magnifies the overall return the more you can borrow at cheaper rates. But it also could mean that the economy is slowing and that interest rates are anticipating a slower growth and are pushing a little bit lower. So we'll see which ends up taking place. We definitely know that the economy is relatively flat. We have seen quite a bit of positive earnings here. I read we're about 85% through the earnings season, and 85% rather have reported earnings, and they've looked pretty good right here. So we'll see what we get here. If we can get the government back open, get some economic data starting to flow back in again, that would also be very helpful. A couple stock ideas to consider also. Today you've got IMPE, Imperial Petroleum there in the petroleum shipping space. We're seeing that start to move higher as oil prices come back down a little bit. You may see supply start to slow down and more demand for shippers. So sometimes you'll see these moves in these shippers that are moving back and forth, but we're definitely seeing a bid here on IMPP. Also seeing Apple move nicely back into momentum here as well. So some tech names, good old classic Apple still working quite nicely. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.